All right, guys, we are recording bag number 2 of the Batmobile. You see the box in the background. Um, you're seeing angles changing all the time, trying to figure out what the best lighting is and whatnot. All of us that record and post to social media, that is the biggest struggle, right? Is to figure out what is the best lighting, what works the best, yada yada. So I had purchased a new ring light last night, trying to better some stuff. I can go through some of the settings if you guys want to see it real quick. So that's a softer, and then it has multicolors: red, green, blue, yellow, purple, kind of a light blue. Um, it will then cycle through all the colors, like you're seeing probably the reflection in my face right now. And it was fairly inexpensive. I saw this being advertised on a TikTok shop, but you don't need the TikTok shop to buy it because it is available at Walmart, and it is available at Walmart cheaper than you can buy it on TikTok. So the misconception, sorry, my eyes itching. The misconception is that everything on TikTok is cheaper, better, the whole 9 yards, when in fact, typically you could buy the same product in your local stores. On occasion, is it cheaper? Sure, absolutely. But there's also, you know, times, and more often than not, that I've found when I've seen a product being advertised on TikTok, somebody reviewing it, and then I go, oh, that's a cool thing, I'm going to go take a look. And, more often than not, I see it cheaper locally. So, the one that I could say for sure, the ring light is one you can get cheaper locally, at least where I live. But the one thing I ordered that I can't buy cheaply was my capture card. That was Elgato is like the mainstream line for that, and that can cost you a couple $100, and my capture card was $20 maybe. So, and does the same damn thing. So that I couldn't buy locally. So anyway, we're doing bag 2, Batmobile. You see the box in the background. I also have the mini version right here that I built, I think, like 2 years ago now. So we're going to kind of get after it. This was the recap of bag number 1, was the base of the vehicle. So, and then of course we had the minifig built. That was in bag 1. So why don't we put those there, get them out of the way. All right. Brick separator, old man glasses, bag 2. Let's go. I made a outstanding Lego purchase yesterday. I can't wait to build it. So right after we do the Batmobile, I'm going to get started on my next project. And I'm going to reveal what that's going to be a little later. So, all right, here we go. Extra piece. All right. Watching the latest episode on Dateline. Like I've said before in my videos, I'm kind of a true crime nut. My side hustle is Ubering, and while I Uber, there's a couple true crime podcasts um, that I watch. One of them is called Morbid. The gals that are on it, the two hosts, they're good when they get going with their podcast, but sometimes they get off on a rant of, you know, Stanley cups, fluffy, fluffy pajamas. I made this comment to my daughter when we were at Barnes and Noble yesterday that I love the content, and when they're on fire presenting it, they are really, really good. It's just they get sidetracked so easily that it's a little ag because I want to get to the story. I don't necessarily need the fluffy ant story. Anyway, Morbid is a really good one. If you guys get a chance, go check it out. Um, I love the fact that they put so much time, effort, and energy into podcasting. Um, I had podcasted for a bit quite a while ago. Had a sports podcast, and I mean, locally we started to get a pretty decent following, and we would record episodes every week, every 2 weeks, kind of thing, and did that for a couple years. So I kind of know what goes in, at least from the amateur aspect of doing a podcast, and my amateur version of it was time consuming. So I can only imagine what a more professional podcast like theirs, especially when it's so detailed with like criminal crap, that it it can be difficult to produce. All right, there we go. So far, I think I'm going to go live with bag 3 and 4 kind of at the same time. You will notice that when I compose the videos that you're seeing new intros, outros. Um, I use an editing software called Microsoft Clipchamp. It is super user friendly. I pay for the version that I have because of the outstanding features that it includes. So and I just recently acquired it. Um, so I am trying to upgrade what I got going on here a little bit. Like I mentioned in the last video, I've been getting after Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I had pre-ordered that months ago. It was in the summer, and it released a couple days ago, and so that's obviously with the new game, and no matter how much like you have invested in Call of Duty, you have to kind of start at zero again. So you have to earn all your weapons and skins and unlock crap. So it can start to be time consuming, especially if you are one of those people like me that is a completionist. It is something that I just do. I don't really think about, but it's like if I, start a book series, I gotta get all the books and then get after it. That kind of shit. And obviously, because we are in the political season, just all kinds of shit is ramping up politics wise. You start to see bad behavior on both sides of the aisle. You see the videos, right, of everybody's got a post, to show how evil Democrats are and how evil Republicans are. And, you might chuckle at this, but Rodney King had it right when he said, can't we all just get along? Like, you don't have to like their politics, but let's just use this as an example. Let's say you're a staunch Republican, okay? And, you've watched bad behavior by the Republican Party for a couple years. And then all of a sudden that's kind of shifted where you're seeing less bad behavior, but then you start seeing really bad behavior from the Democrats. So do you stop and go, I'm going to rise above? I'm going to let them look bad and I'm going to go about my day and I'm going to point out how bad they look, but I am not going to match their badness. No. What do? Instead of doing that, taking the higher road, showing people that, no, we've got to amp up our bad behavior to top that bad behavior. And then it's the other side goes, I've got to top that bad behavior with the other bad behavior. And then it's like, okay, how much more shit can we take here? So it just amazes me. Just amazes me. And this is going to suck. I mean, think about it. When the elections occur, it doesn't matter who gets voted. I have a pretty good idea who's going to be the next president. The other side's going to lose their mind. But it doesn't matter. If Kamala's elected, Republicans are going to lose their mind. I'm going to be frustrated. But if Donald Trump wins the election, the Democrats are going to go ballistic. I mean, it's going to be ugly. And it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Whoever wins, the other side's going to be pissed. And it's going to be ugly. That sucks. Like that, It's like a freeway accident. You drive by it with like one eye open. You have the one eye closed because you really don't want to see the dead body that's on the side of the freeway. But your human nature is curious. So you keep the other eye open just in case you glimpse it. That's what it's going to frickin' be like. So it's just like, it's going to be ugly. And it's, you know, some people will say, well, it's going to be hilarious, and it's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be very funny because, you're going to see some comedic things at first, but then after that, it's just going to get where you're like, are we serious right now? Like, you're an adult. Are we really going to do that? That's how bad it most likely will be. This is the first presidential election that I am going to vote in several years. I'm not, I've never hidden the fact that I'm a registered Republican. I've not voted party lines completely my entire life. I'm about whatever candidate is best for the, that I feel is for the country at the time. So, yeah, so, a lot of times, people are very like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to vote the party I'm a member of. And, um, I'm about what's going to be best for the country. So that I feel. Obviously, I'm not a politician. I'm not plugged into the scene. Um, frankly, I'm afraid to be because of how insane people are over politics. and they're more insane than the back in the day, the cute insane that used to exist. And what I mean by that is people would joke about, a couple things that you never talk to anybody about: politics, religion, and their spouse, right? Um, but politics you could get away with because, you would have friendly debates. It would be, all that stuff and shit. Not anymore, man. So yeah, it's going to be a train wreck. And if you're a fan of train wrecks, well, this election will be exciting for you. I frankly am not into train wrecks. Can't stand train wrecks. Train wrecks do nothing but destroy people. So yeah, so I am not looking forward to the train wreck coming up. And the funny part is, it's like, and I don't think it's going to matter what party it is, but um, if you lose, or just pick up your football and go home. But I don't think that is going to happen. I just pray, and I'm not much of a religious person, but I pray to God that that whatever's going to happen, whichever side decides to lose their effing mind, I pray to God that nobody gets killed, nobody gets hurt. Um, yeah, that's some of the things that I fear as it gets out of hand to the point that somebody gets fucking hurt or killed, and then it's like it's over stupid shit. Like, life is hard enough, people, without us making it more complicated by going nuts over political ideology. And it's always been under the surface, I feel too. I don't think it's, the thoughts of, man, if that Republican doesn't, do what I like, I'm going to burn their house down. I think every politician might have thought along those lines, but would be scared to death to verbalize it because of how that would make them look. But I think nowadays, now it's talked about freely. So the bad behavior would always be under the surface. But now it's not on the surface, it is out in the open. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be back to, I want to see where, we have difficulty and our behavior makes us proud to be American. That's what I want. I'm proud to be an American, but you want to be proud of just us as a people, that we're going to behave appropriately. That's some funny shit right there. Police show up at his house. Murder is never funny, right? Police show up at his house. His wife has been killed, and they're questioning him, and they're going for a couple hours, and then they ask, "Is there anything in your past that we need to be aware of?" And then he just matter of factly says, "Oh yeah, absolutely." And they're like, "What?" "Well, back in 1998, I had a wife, and she was killed." And the police are like, "What?" Like, we're questioning you because of like your wife being killed, and you're telling us that we've sat here for a couple of hours and you failed to mention that you've had a wife previously that was killed as well. It makes you want, like, if you're really that narcissistic, do you wake up and I don't know. Like, I want to know. Do you wake up and go, I'm like crazy. Like, I'm consciously like not well, and I'm going to be smarter than everybody else, and because I cannot imagine for the life of me how somebody could do that and think it was a good idea. And I know somebody's going to say, well, mental health is a real struggle. It is. But I don't think most mental people then become homicidal. I don't think that occurs. Having a mental disorder and needing mental help doesn't necessarily make you a homicidal maniac. And if anybody says different, I call bullshit on that. I know Stacy tells me I need to not swear so much, but I'm also a believer in plain speech. I'm honestly too old to give a shit about whether people are happy with my language or not. It's just you get to a certain age where I know you're probably gonna make the argument, well, you build Lego, well, that don't mesh, but yeah, you just get too old to give a shit anymore. All right, we're really getting that front end cranking out here. Like, we're about 3/4 of the way through bag number 2. Like I said, I'm gonna go live with bag 3 and bag 4, and I'm gonna do that sometime today. I think. Today is it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday. Tomorrow is Halloween, by the way. So happy early Halloween to everyone. I hope you have a safe time. Enjoy the trick or treating, all that good stuff. If you're a trick or treater, so one thing I kind of miss is being in a place where I can hand out candy. My residence doesn't isn't conducive to that behavior any longer because it's a secure building, so you can't, like, people can't just come up and knock on the freaking door. So I miss that part. I miss seeing the creativity of kids' costumes. I used to love that part. I don't know if you guys follow sports at all, but there's been like some like freaking just god awful meltdowns in football lately. Like Aaron Rodgers has been kind of a butthole, and then Anthony Richardson did some shit, and everybody's like up in arms about it, and it's like it's freaking weird. It's like a full moon without the full moon. All right, we're doing 2 stickers, first 2 of the set. We are doing the electrical stickers, 25 and 26, and that is on step 46. So if you haven't heard me talk about it, I use my brick separator to put stickers on. I use the pointier end, not the separator end. I find the sticker placement is much easier, but that's kind of what you get. All right. All right, there we go. That is the completion of bag number 2. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get this video compiled and get parts of it up today. I have to do it in parts with TikTok. I've talked about this before. If you want to see it unedited, go over to YouTube. YouTube allows me to post it in its entirety, so makes it a little bit easier. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed it. And I hope everybody has a great and safe Halloween.